all you're gonna need for this job is a 5-gallon bucket, some empty cans, a PVC pipe, a drill, and a knife to cut open the holes a little bit more if you don't have a big enough drill bit. And then you too can have yourself a wicking bucket. By the way, I didn't come up with this. This is all from a guy named Leon from Gardening with Leon. He's on YouTube. He's got like 1 million followers. He is the one who really, I got this whole wicking tub idea from. So what you're gonna do is take these empty soda cans, right? And then you're gonna drill a hole. You see where this line is right there, where it dents in at the top? You're gonna drill a hole there. All right, so I put it down on the ground so I don't drill my hand. You're gonna drill a hole there, put a hole there, and then you see where this right here, there's that other, like where it drops off, drill a hole right there. All right, that's the first thing you need to do, is you wanna drill holes in all your cans. All right, the next thing you gotta do once you get your holes in all your cans, you gotta find a place for your bucket to drip out. So you wanna place a hole somewhere below where the can is. So you want your hole lower than where the can is gonna be. And this is gonna be where you drip out your water so that there's a level of air in there so you don't rot out your roots. All right, so I go here, I don't even know, like right here maybe, somewhere. So this is gonna be the highest level that you can, that the water will go in your reservoir between your plant and basically the reservoir when it wicks. So then I put a little dot here, and then that's where I end up drilling my hole in the bucket, and that's the highest level that the water is gonna go in the bucket. So then, keep it real simple, you drill a hole in your bucket. Your next step is this PVC pipe. This is how you're gonna get water into the bottom of your bucket. So what we found works for us is we put packing tape to hold it up, but you wanna have a little bit of space underneath it. So then we take this thing, this PVC pipe in there to hold it tight so that we're gonna have a way to get water into the bottom of this bucket. All right, now that you got your watering pipe in there, you're gonna take your cans, this is an important part, and this mouth part that you see here, you put that part facing down so that the dirt doesn't get in there, because what you want is you want these cans to fill up with water, H2O, and create a reservoir in there. So then you just put your cans in there. And these cans are going to create your reservoir. All right, so now that you have your cans in there, the concept is that you're gonna try to get your dirt everywhere where the cans aren't. So you're gonna have your dirt in this hole right here, that's gonna be your wick. And then you're gonna fill in dirt in all the other sides here, and you're gonna fill this whole thing up with dirt.
What are you doing?
I'm putting compost, a layer of compost in here, getting it in there. So there's a little bit of extra nutrients. Actually, I want to put more compost so this thing can feed. So grab a handful of compost, put it in here. So this layer, when it gets under here, will be like a compost layer. So a little bit more.
Careful.
All right, sorry. There you go. Boom. In there. So now you have yourself a wicking bucket. So it's time to put a little compost on well, actually to put your plant in there in the middle. So we're gonna be doing Swiss chard. Ooh, a little root bound. Ooh. Wow, buddy.
What are you doing now?
So now that Swiss chard is in his home, I always like to put one last layer of compost on the top before we put down our wood chips. So I just put a little layer of compost, put it around the top, and boom, compost. So the next thing I do is I take some wood chips and then I just put it all around the top, and this helps to keep the moisture in case and also to keep the moisture out in case it rains here in South Florida, because we get some torrential downpouring. And the concept is that you're never gonna water this with just straight water. When you put it down that hole, it's always gonna have fertilizer in it, so that this is always being fertilized. The water that's sucking up through that wick is always has some fertilizer on it. So, I mean, some folks put like plastic over the top to keep the rainwater out so it doesn't wash away all your fertilizer. We put caps on the top of some of these PVC pipes so the rainwater doesn't get in there and dilute your fertilized water. But that's this step, the wood chip step. So then I mix in a little bit of this fish fertilizer 511 into some water so I can pour it into the bottom reservoir of this wicking tub. Take this fertilizer and you pour it into this hole. But the key is you fill it up until it starts running out of this hole right here. Then you know that you've got enough in there. And there, if you look really close, you can see that there's water dripping out of that hole. So there you have it, Swiss chard in a wicking bucket. Probably have to throw some fertilizer in the bottom of this bucket about once a week, and it's only really gonna feed off about a gallon of water per week, which saves a lot of water if you're worried about water scarcity.